What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugas, back at y'all with another live Q&A, yo. Week one of the NFL is done, man. What an amazing time of the year as we are in full-fledged football 5 days a week. You have Thursday night football. You know, a lot of you, including myself, who follow high school football in your local area. You got high school football on Fridays. You got NCAA football on Saturdays. You got the NFL on Sundays. You got the NFL on Mondays, yo. This is a truly, truly great time of the year, yo. A lot of big stories in the NFL, man. The rookie Kyler Murray down 18 led the Cardinals back to tie the Detroit Lions, yo, in a big time comeback. My LSU Tigers with a big, big, big win on the road over the Texas Longhorns as LSU is now the number four ranked team in the country, yo. My Philadelphia Eagles got off to a very, very, very slow start, but then ended up picking it up and went on and beat the Washington Redskins. Um, Braves are rolling right now. The Braves have a 9.5 game lead in the NL East, yo. The magic number for the Braves right now is 10. And not only that, the Braves are only 3 games behind the Dodgers for home field advantage throughout the National League playoffs, yo. So this is truly, truly, truly uh, um a good time right now, man. My fantasy teams. I got two fantasy leagues, man. One that I have that goes on traditionally. Screwed up click, I got a win in that one. Got a fantasy team at my job, a PPR league. Got a win in that one too. So, all is well, yo. All is well, man. Other big college games, man. You had Clemson knocking off Texas A&M 24-10. Um, you had the Army Knights, man, came extremely close to knocking off the Michigan Wolverines and the fighting Jim Harbaughs, yo, at the big house, man. Boy, was I pulling for Army, man. That would have been just an epic, epic upset to see Michigan go down the Army, man. Army came this close, man. Unfortunately, yo, but football is back, man. Football is back. It's definitely rolling, yo. Great time of the year, yo. What's up, Brian Dennis Stadium, man? Appreciate you tuning in to the live again, like always, man. Go Tigers, by the way, man. How about LSU, man, with that big, big road win over there in Austin, Texas, to beat the Longhorns, yo. Considering the fact that they sent our band all the way up to the upper deck. You feel me? Man, then there was allegedly got rumors that they didn't even give LSU no air conditioning in their locker room, man. So big, big win for the Tigers, man. Going on the road, Joe. Beating that team, man. Top 10 matchup as now LSU is ranked fourth. And the schedule gets a lot easier for LSU. Got Northwestern State this week. I think we go to Vanderbilt next week, which is actually an early kickoff, man. We got Utah State. We got a bye week after that. Then we got Utah State. Then we got a big one, man. As the Florida Gators come to that valley. Finally, yo. It seemed like it seemed like Florida ain't been to Death Valley in years, even though it been 2 years. It seemed like a lot longer than that, man. As we finally ain't gotta go play them in the swamp, yo. Let's see. You were hype as I saw that game too, right when I got home from a 55-minute drive from Bryant Denny. I was extremely hyped, man, because first off, it was a great game, man. Even if you wasn't even if you wasn't an LSU fan or a Texas fan, it was a very entertaining game to watch. Just like last night, I'm an Eagles fan, but watching that Saints game and that Texans game was just extremely, extremely, entertaining, yo. Going back and forth, man. LSU is a real team, man. The defense didn't play well. Part of that has to do with the fact that it was a hostile environment. We was on the road. Texas does have a really, really, really good quarterback, man. I don't know what his NFL prospects are like, but as far as college though, he's the real, real, real deal. He was a Heisman candidate for a reason. Um, and we got a little gash, man. We got to look gutted up defensively, especially in the middle. But man, what an offense, man! When you think about Jambalaya Joe Burrow throwing the football, when you think about the offensive line blocking, when you think about those receivers, man, three receivers with 100 yards receiving, man. And I remember when we had the Wayne Bowl, Buster Davis, and my fellow St. Martinville, Louisiana native, Early Deuce said they didn't even accomplish that. So for Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Terrence Marshall to accomplish that, man, that's big time. And yeah, just an absolute great, great win, man, that all LSU fans could be excited for, yo. What's going on, Sir Nate? 27. Appreciate you tuning into the live. My day is going okay, man. My day is going okay, man. Can't complain. Um, big weekend in football we just had. Another big weekend up ahead, man. Really in the NFL, man. NFL got some solid matchups this week, man. My Eagles go down to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. LSU kind of got like a cupcake game this week, man. But just just excited that football is finally here, yo. It's nice in Bryant Denny Stadium. I went there before I saw that game. Yeah, I would like to visit there one day, yo. If everybody don't give me too much of a hard time for coming through over there, man. But from what I seen, just I know a couple of people who UL Lafayette went to Tuscaloosa last season, and I know a couple of people that I've spoke to before that actually made the trip over there, and they say that it's just an absolutely beautiful stadium, beautiful campus. Um, They say they kind of got sick and tired of the little elephant noise every time Alabama scored. But yeah, I'd like to visit that stadium one day, yo. Alabama go on. What do they got? South Carolina this week, I think, man. Ain't really, they ain't really played, Duke, I guess, in the New Mexico State, but South Carolina, SEC team on the road, but missing their quarterback, man. Bama should basically destroy them, quite honestly, yo. I'm in Birmingham. It's only 55 minutes away. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, yo. So you definitely get to go catch some games. Just like me, I want to say I'm like 45 minutes to an hour away from Baton Rouge. So, yeah, I'm trying to, I got it in the works. I'm working on trying to go to that LSU Florida game, man. I wish I already knew what time the game would be, then I really would know. But they don't announce those things till early. I'm assuming it's gonna probably be a 2:30 kickoff, yo. But I love to attend that game. You all said Michigan has a free win against Ohio State, but they have to worry about everyone in the Big Ten. That offense not looking top 25. Man, Army had them, man. Oh man, I didn't really get to do a video about it. I had a very, very, very busy day Saturday up until the LSU game, yo. I had to go to a couple of parties, birthday parties. But before at the point I was watching that Army Michigan game, yo, why did Army pass that up for offense, yo? I don't understand it, man. They had Michigan on. I mean, I wanted Armin to win that game so bad, man. Just to shut Jim Harbaugh up, man, with all this nonsense, how all the SEC cheats and still worrying about Urban Meyer, even though the man done retired, yo. But Michigan in trouble, man. Ohio State gonna beat them again, yo. What's up, Tiger Raven 2018. Appreciate you tuning into the live. Man, y'all did not have to do the Miami Dolphins that way. Y'all wrong for doing the Miami Dolphins like that, man. That's messed up. Y'all got people in there trying to call their agents at halftime to get up out of there, man. I have been to Georgia Sanford Stadium in 2014, the last time Clemson and Georgia played each other. That's what's up, man. I bet that was a very, very festive and live atmosphere to attend, yo. I remember watching that game on TV too, man. I think that's when I think Deshaun Watson was a freshman, but I remember Gurley just going crazy that game, man. I think he even had a kickoff return for a touchdown, man. But that's what's up, man. I love to visit these other stadiums, eventually one day. Florida made a good deal of improvement. Hope they beat Georgia. Oh, let's see. Oh, my thing went off. Hold on. Hope they beat Georgia. Still have Georgia winning the East, but I hope I'm wrong after what they did against y'all. Yeah, what the thing with Florida, man, like I've said on numerous occasions, I love I love Dan Mullen as a head coach. I really, really like Todd Grantham as a defensive coordinator. What I worry about with Florida, man, is Felipe Franks. Can he play consistent? That's basically all they missing is consistent play from their quarterback, to be a real, real, real threat, Even before then, like we both got a good test when Florida comes to Death Valley October 12th, yo. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that matchup. But Florida has a chance to beat them, yo. Obviously Georgia hasn't played nobody yet. They get Notre Dame. I think is it next week they get Notre Dame. At home. You would think they would win that because Notre Dame doesn't really have the athletes to match the athleticism and speed that Georgia have. But yeah, if Florida got a shot. If Felipe Franks could play a solid game, they got a shot to knock off Georgia. Georgia whipped out, but they yeah, I remember that game, man. Like, yeah, I remember it was like the Ty Gurley game from that one. What's up, boys from D, man? Appreciate you tuning into the live, man. How about the LSU Tigers, man? Jambalaya Joe Burrow, man, 471 yards passing, yo. Man, just what a performance, man. Like, I'm reading the thing up there now. Also starting to like he's climbing up the NFL draft stock board now. People starting to really consider him as an NFL quarterback. So especially if we have a good showing against Florida, against Alabama, and if we, get in a playoff or whatever against those teams, he got a shot to really climb up that draft board, yo. Georgia plays Notre Dame next week. Yeah, I knew it. I figured it was like next week or that. Georgia should win that game. Georgia should win it because, like I said, Georgia just flat out have way more athletes, in my opinion, than Notre Dame has. Man, I was not impressed with Notre Dame at all watching their matchup against Louisville. To say the fact, Louisville had a few players that had some nice speed, and Notre Dame had trouble defending them. They got fortunate that that Louisville just had fumbleitis that day, that night, man. Because if Louisville would have hung on to the ball, that game would have really, 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 really got interesting, yo. What's up, Brandon Reese, man? Appreciate you tuning into the live. How far do you think LSU can do? Oh wait, hold on. How far do you think LSU can go with the win over Texas? I mean, quite honestly, man, LSU could go all the way. They can go all the way, man. The thing is, they got to be more consistent. Obviously, there's a lot of things from that Texas game that I loved, offensively in particular. I love Jambalaya Joe's, just his ability in this offense, his knowledge of the offense, his arm strength, his accuracy, his decision making, his decisiveness, his confidence. I love all that. And if he could continue to play like that, we could pretty much move the ball on anybody. The negatives, man, defensively, Fulton didn't have a good game, even though I think he'll be okay, the rest of the season. I'm worried about our linebackers in coverage, and I'm worried about I'm worried about our front four putting consistent pressure on the quarterback without us blitzing, you know. But one thing I will say that I figured out about us defensively, Derek Stingley Jr. is a shutdown, lockdown. He our best cornerback already. Like Derek Stingley Jr. today as a true freshman after 2 games is already the top cornerback at DBU already, yo. That kid is gonna be amazing, man, and a definite draft prospect. That Saints game was great last night. Yeah, it was, yo. And if y'all didn't get a chance, man, I actually went live at the end of that game, man, I had my dad over. He was watching the game. My dad's actually a big Saints fan, and I went live. Man, that ending was crazy. How Deshaun Watson came down in 13 seconds, went 75 yards, and then Drew Brees came back and masterfully got the Saints in field goal range to kick the game-winning field goal. Which I was fussing because I'm like, man, why they not using their timeout? But little do I know, they knew what they was doing all along. And a great kick by Will Lutz, man. Like that was a clutch, big time kick. Tough loss for the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans gonna have to get them some more offensive linemen, man, because Deshaun Watson is just too great of a player to constantly be under duress like that, man. They gonna have to protect. And you got a guy like Andrew Luck retiring, which granted the Colts have addressed the offensive line now, but early in his career, Andrew Luck would get beat up like that. So Houston gonna have to do something about that offensive line, man, to keep Watson upright, yo. Clemson is playing Notre Dame next year in South Bend. Oh, that should be a very interesting game, man. And I think Clemson gonna run them out of there too, to be honest with you, man. But that's a nice matchup though. What's up, Jermaine One Simmons, man? Appreciate you tuning into the live. I see no way Georgia's beating us this year. They only got one good running back, and Fromm ain't beating this 2019 defense. I mean, we gonna see. You gonna see. Now Alabama got to get by LSU now, like, cause hey, LSU. This is gonna be the best LSU gonna challenge Alabama in a long time, man. Now, will we win? Who knows? If I had to bet money today, I would say probably not. But you can't overlook LSU this year, man. LSU with this offense and what the defense is capable of, yo. It could be an interesting game. Let's see. I don't know all the NFL rules since they always changing things up. But when the Saints receiver dove for the ball on the last play, I was yelling at the TV, "Don't touch him. Let the time run out, yo." Um, I think the clock stops when you give yourself up. The fact that he caught the ball and he gave himself up, I think the clock would have stopped. Like they stopped the clock. If you don't give yourself up, like say for instance, if you catch the ball, go down, and then you try to make an attempt to get back up, then yeah, you have to touch him to keep him down. But if the receiver is down, because I think he fell down and then he called a timeout, if I'm not mistaken. So when you give yourself up, then it don't matter if you get touched or not. But if you don't give yourself up, like if you trying to make an attempt to get back up, then yeah, you have to touch him to keep him down. But yeah, that was just a tough loss for the Texans, man. They probably should have. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to second guess now, but it's like if you play up, maybe they go deep over your head, but they just gave him an easy like 8 yard completion. It still was a very difficult field goal. You just gotta tip your hat to Will Lutz for making that field goal, yo. What's up, Malik Baker? Appreciate you tuning in. My Philadelphia Eagles is going 2-0 next Sunday. I do believe that, man. How about those Eagles, man? A very, very ugly start. A very ugly start, man. Down 17-0. The crowd booing. Just very ugly. But once this team, maybe it was the preseason rush. Maybe it's just the Redskins came out and played well. But once this team got into a rhythm offensively, man, they just was rolling, yo. This Eagles team offense, man, is very dangerous with Deshaun Jackson, man. Deshaun Jackson never played with a quarterback of this caliber. When we drafted him, he played with like an older version of Donovan McNabb, yo. But this Eagles offense, man, is dangerous, yo. Very dangerous, yo. With Deshaun Jackson, man. When you got him, Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goddard, Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, Darren Sproles, and that offensive line. I mean, Wentz didn't even get touched Sunday, yo. Like this team, yeah. Like if we come, I think we should run the ball a little more against Atlanta. They're a little smaller on the and linebackers. So I think we could out physical them and pound them, yo. I'm a little worried about us defensively, man. We got to get more consistent pressure on the quarterback because we got more of opportunistic type of cornerbacks instead of like shut down type of cornerbacks, yo. So we're gonna have to really, play a little better against the Falcons to win that game on the road. What's up, Dwayne RTR? Yo, appreciate you tuning into the live. LSU looking scary good. Our boys at Tuscaloosa made the energy drink before we play. I have a cousin, man, who's actually Alabama, believe it or not. And he was after that LSU game, he called me and he was like, "Yo, it's crazy how like years ago this was a 9-6 game between LSU Alabama. This year it may be like a 39-36 type of game. Like LSU Alabama may actually play in a shootout this year, yo. Both offenses are looking really, really scary good right now. Damian Harrison and Sony Michelle are going to be a great running back duo, yo. What's up with Harris though? I don't think I seen him Sunday night. I heard he did good. I didn't really see the Patriots too much in preseason, but I heard he did actually kind of solid with the Patriots in the preseason. But Sony Michelle, yeah, like Sony Michelle been doing this thing, especially in the playoffs, yo. The thing with him, he just got to stay a little healthy, yo. I hope we play doo-doo Dame before Saban retires. Y'all did play him in the national championship and beat him like a gazillion to like 10. Like that game cost Monty Teo like a whole lot of money too, man. Cause he was like a projected top 10 linebacker pick in the draft. That and the whole, fake girlfriend, cost him a lot of money. But y'all did beat them, man, pretty bad too. Every really good, Power Five conference team with athletes, it seems like that's playoff caliber beats Notre Dame, yo. Eagle gang, man. That's right, yo. That's right. How you feel about the Malik Jackson injury? I actually was gonna try to do a video about that later if I had a chance to with the Braves game and everything. It's very unfortunate, man. Man, it's very unfortunate, especially that we already had trouble rushing the passer Sunday already. Now the Redskins did run a lot of max protection, which gave Case Keenum more time, but it's a big loss, man. I mean, I was expecting him to do big things on the other side of Fletcher Cox, man. So it's a big loss, but at the same time, it's a loss that we can't overcome. Timmy Jernigan played well when he got out there Sunday, yo. People forget Jernigan was our starting D tackle on side of Fletcher Cox when we won the Super Bowl. Last year he was hurt. Like he came into the season banged up and he was never fully healthy, yo. Which was scary to think that we could have Fletcher, him, and Malik Jackson in the D tackle rotation. But I think Timmy Jernigan gonna step up and do a solid job, man, if he can stay healthy. I did see we picked up some defensive tackle, man. I don't really know much about him. I got to look him up to build some more depth. But, it's unfortunate, man. But I think it's a loss that we can overcome, though. But you never want to see none of your starters get injured, yo. We need to run the ball early. I agree, yo. With Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders, I mean, I love Darren Sproles, man. Don't get me wrong, and he does big things for us, man, especially in the passing game. But I kind of want to see a little more Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders than Darren Sproles, man. Like, you know, Dougie P. Oh, I forgot to. I apologize. I forgot to put my phone on silent. Yo, who calling me right now? Yeah, but Dougie P. For like just has a thing with. He just has a real thing with Darren Sproles, yo, where we need to run Jordan Howard and run Miles Sanders, a little more than we run them. But he loves to throw Darren Sproles out there, man. I want to see a lot more of Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders on Sunday night, yo. What's up, Black Goatee, man? Appreciate you tuning into the live. How about Dak and the Cowboys offense looking very dangerous if they get hot with both passing and running. Plus, you can't double team them now or stack the box with the deep ball. They did look good. I gotta give it to them, man. They looked good. They played well. They got some nice weapons over there. I gotta give it to them. Dallas is a good team. This division is gonna come down to the Eagles and the Cowboys battling it out for the NFC East. But the New York Giants stink, man. Like, my goodness, man. They had people running wide open. Now, don't get me wrong, Dak made some nice throws, but they had people running wide open, man, down the field, bro. I'm like, this team is just awful, man. Like, and they want to, and I mean, I know Eli didn't play terrible Sunday, but it was really their defense. But these they just got a thing with Eli Manning, man. They just want to hold on to Eli, hold on to Eli, hold on to Eli, man. And like the Giants are a bad football team, man. At least the Redskins could play a little defense. Um, the Giants don't play any defense whatsoever, yo. Not a lick of defense, man. Pray for Nick Foles. Yes, man. Glad you brought that up, man. Prayers to the big homie Nick Foles, man. He broke his clavicle Sunday. He's on IR. I think he can't return until at least week 11. Um, yeah, prayers for him, man. Unfortunate to see, man. Yeah, I mean he gonna be back. It's the same. I think it's like the same injury he suffered with us back in the 2014 season when against the Houston Texans when he broke his clavicle and Mark Sanchez came in for him. Played two great games against Carolina on Monday night and against Dallas on Thanksgiving, and then just absolutely stunk up the joint after that, yo, and let the Dallas Cowboys come back win the division. But yeah, prayers for Nick, man. I really hope Nick the best, yo. Derek Stingley Jr. is real. They tried him twice and quit real quick. Man, you are absolutely right, man. I was talking about that earlier. Like, out of all the negative things we could take away from LSU defense on Saturday night, what we all could look forward to is, man, Derek Stingley Jr. in just his second game as a true freshman is already LSU's number one premier lockdown cornerback, man. That was a first round type of receiver he was going up against from Texas, man, and he completely blanketed him. They had to start throwing that in the middle of the field at our linebackers and that Fulton. Like you right, they got off. They like, nah, this freshman for real. Like what I would love to see, man, is I would love to see when we play Alabama. I would love to see Derek Stingley Jr. matched up with Jerry Judy, man. I know Judy is the real deal, and I know Judy gonna get him a few times, man. But I just would love to see that matchup for Derek Stingley Jr. going up against Jerry Judy, yo. That would be something really, really great to see, yo. I know I want to do it again and make Brian Kelly mad. Brian Kelly mad anyway, man. Brian Kelly always mad, man. Always on that sideline looking red as a crawfish, man, cussing people out at a Catholic institution, man. Do you think that LSU defense will take time to adjust to the offense? Um, it's like I'm concerned for LSU defense because I don't think like the linebackers could cover as good as previous linebackers have. Now, to be a little fair to them, we played against a unique type of quarterback, with Sam Ellinger. So what we did a lot was we moved Jacoby Stevens like down into like a linebacker role and put Todd Harris back there at safety, kind of like what my Eagles do, moving Malcolm Jenkins down and putting like Andrew Sendejo, used to be Corey Graham back there, that third safety. And they use him a lot to spy on Ellinger to make sure Ellinger couldn't run. But which it made the pass defense a lot weaker. So I don't think the passing defense is going to be as bad against more traditional type of quarterbacks that's not looking to run, a lot. But the defense is the pass defense isn't as good. The biggest thing with me, man, is the pass rush. We not getting a consistent rush with our front four, man. We have to bring linebackers. We have to bring people out the secondary to put pressure on the quarterback, and that's the thing that's a little concerning to me. Now, I do think as time goes on, we'll get better and better. But what's good is that this offense is so potent that we can win games like we did Saturday because the defense gonna have games where they do play well, especially at home. But it's gonna be games where we know the offense could carry us. So I think they'll be better, but that it is a little concerning though. The Wayne RTR Dame fans actually think their team tried to join the Big Ten and got turned down. Nah, they didn't. Yes, man. Prayers for Nick Foles, man. I hate to see Nick go out like that, man. Let's see. Thought I would never see the day when Alabama and LSU offense look better than their defense. Yeah, that's something, man. That game in Tuscaloosa may be a shootout. I really hope that both teams go into that game undefeated, yo. The last time both teams went into the game undefeated was the 2011 9-6 game. After that, LSU had a loss or two here there. So yeah, like I would love both teams to come into that game undefeated, and letting these offenses go at it, man. The thing I want to see in that game, man, would be Derek Stingley Jr. matched up against Jerry Judy. That would be absolute must see TV for me. BDS, I doubt they even tried. Nah, they didn't. You love Bama Dugas. No, I don't. I can't stand y'all and I don't like y'all. And I really hope we destroy y'all when we go to Tuscaloosa this season. I'm not going to even lie to you. What's up, Mike Jink? Go Gators. Appreciate you tuning into the live. We can try spotting Matt Ryan 17 points if we want to. I mean, we got to play better defensively, man. What I do like about the Eagles matchup with Atlanta is the Eagles are more physical than Atlanta. So what I want Dougie P to come in, not come in there getting cute, trying to pitch toss to Darren Sproles and all that other stuff. I want him to line up and hand the ball to Jordan Howard, hand the ball to Miles Sanders, and running it down the Atlanta Falcons' throat, yo. Dalvin Cook just had like what 100 something yards rushing on them on Sunday. Minnesota only threw the ball 10 times and completely dominated that game, yo. We need to line up and run the football against Atlanta on Sunday, especially on the road, yo. Sean tried saying that like when they were considering it, they said the only would if they schedule whoever they want. Then the Big Ten told them they have to play teams in the conference. I mean, yeah, you can't join a conference and not want to play teams that's part of the conference. That's crazy, yo. Then they turned them down. Pitiful. Sean tried like that. Yeah, Notre Dame. I think Georgia, like I said, I think Georgia gonna absolutely smoke them on next Saturday. I think teams going to forget about Alshon and Nelson Aguilar because defense are going to try to double team Deshaun Jackson. What do you think about this? I agree with this, man. Aguilar had a quiet game Sunday, man. Obviously, we didn't need him. Zach Ertz, for his standard, had a quiet game on Sunday. Um, looking at yeah, man, Deshaun just brings such an element to this offense, man. And when people gonna start paying attention to him, you will definitely see Zach Ertz, Dallas Goddard, Sproles, Aguilar, the underneath receivers, get a lot more room to operate, man. Because what's so great about Deshaun, man, everybody focuses on the deep ball with him, especially with Wentz's arm strength and accuracy. It's obviously is a beautiful thing to watch, but Deshaun Jackson is running a complete route tree right now, man. He could go deep and like he could go deep and then stop on a dime and cut in for a comeback route. And people will have to start focusing on him. And when that happens, you're going, like I said, you're gonna see the safety being taken away and Zach Ertz getting these nice, the best route running tight end in the NFL, getting open in the seams, as well as Dallas Goddard, as well as the running game. If the safety play back a little bit, they could pound them with the running game. So I definitely do agree with that, man. And it's out there on film, man. So everybody will be, oh Lord, we got to worry about Deshaun Jackson, and it will open it up for guys like Aguilar, man. This offense is just loaded, man. If we could just get a consistent pass rush defensively, man, the sky's the limit, man. We could beat pretty much almost everybody. The Atlanta Falcons played bad Sunday. They are garbage. I mean, they're a good team. You know, they had a bad day. The Minnesota Vikings are a good team, especially at home. You know, they tough to beat over there. You know, we're gonna have to actually go on the road, face them in like I think like week 6 or something like that. But they're gonna be fired up to play us, man. They're gonna be at home. You know, the Eagles have beaten them like what 3 or 4 times in a row or something like that. They get us at home. It's their home opener. It's prime time football. They're gonna be fired up to beat us, man. And you know we catch trouble with Julio Jones, man. So we're gonna have to try to find a way to contain him a little bit, yo. But yeah, we need to run the football, man. We need to come out and not get cute with Sproles, but run the football, especially with Jordan Howard down this team's neck, man. I think the Eagles are just with this offensive line. The Eagles are just much more physical than them, yo. Did Tom Brady show he is the GOAT Sunday night? Yes, he did. And now they got Antonio Brown, man. Which I'm gonna say this: I know Antonio Brown is a prolific talent. I know Antonio Brown is big time. I know just looking at it from a football standpoint, it should make the Patriots completely unguardable. But I think they're gonna score a lot of points. They're gonna show a lot of flash. But I honestly, in a weird way, I think them signing Antonio Brown actually hurts their Super Bowl chances. For the simple fact, I just think the dude has bad karma right now, yo. And they didn't, as you seen Sunday night, they didn't need him. You know, you got Philip Dorsett out there doing this thing. You got Josh Garton. You know, you got Julian Edelman. I seen today they traded Demarius Thomas to the New York Jets. You know, which he didn't even play Sunday, I don't think. Or if he did, he didn't make any plays. They had this rookie Myers. You know, they got James White out coming out the backfield. They're going to get Benjamin Watson and Lance Kendricks in a couple of weeks after these suspensions. You know, they didn't really need him, you know, but I am interested. It's going to be fun to watch him play over there with Brady throwing him the ball. And I'm very interested to see, you know, how he's going to act over there. You know, what's up, Irish Panther, man? Appreciate you tuning into the live. How do you feel about the Clemson Syracuse game, football school versus basketball school? I was going to call Syracuse a football school before Saturday. After what Maryland did to them Saturday, man, I guess they're all basketball school, man. But I'm gonna say this though, I think Syracuse is gonna play Clemson tough in that Carrier Dome, man. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and say Syracuse was overlooking Maryland to get to Clemson because Maryland is a very capable football team, but you know Syracuse played Clemson tougher basically than anybody, you know, the last couple of years, especially in that ACC conference. So obviously I think Clemson is going to win the game. I think Travis Etienne, Jennings, Louisiana native, you know, is going to do his thing. I think he's the key to them getting that game won. But I think Syracuse is going to play them tough and make it very interesting, yo. You love Bama Duke guys. No, I don't. Dugas, if you got you LSU versus Bama ticket, would you wear Alabama jersey? No, I would not. I would. Yeah, would I love to go to the game? Absolutely. But before I wear a Bama jersey, I'll sit right in the comfort of my home with my LSU shirt on and watch it on TV proudly, yo. I will not, under any circumstances, wear an Alabama shirt. Like, not. If, like I said, I do plan on being in, not actually going in the game, 'cause I'm sure it's going to be pretty expensive for me. But I do plan on being in the city of New Orleans for the national championship game this season, regardless of who there. Obviously, I would love. It would be perfect if LSU is there. But if say Bama is there, you know, I'll go there and check them out, man. Hang out with their fans, but let them know who I am. For a lot of them who don't know, well, almost all of them who don't know, but I will not wear a Bama shirt under any circumstance, man. Bama shirt, Bama wave cap, a Bama nothing. You feel me? I can't do it, yo. I think nope, nope, maybe nope, not a Tua jersey, nope. But it do look like Tua's gonna end up in the Miami Dolphins next season because it looks like the Miami Dolphins are clearly tanking for Tua right now. Who do you think has a better chance at postseason, Alabama, Georgia, or LSU? I mean, you would have to say Alabama, but You would have to say Alabama and then maybe Georgia. But I think LSU has a real shot, man. Like LSU has a real shot this year, man. I love what I'm seeing. I know the defense didn't look great Saturday, but and I know there's some issues with our linebackers in coverage and Fulton being consistent and a pass rush, which is a lot of problems to have defensively. They're gonna play a little better as the season goes on, man. But LSU has a shot, man, but you would have to say obviously Alabama and Georgia. But it's crazy. All four teams are ranked. All three teams, I'm sorry, are ranked in the top four right now. Alabama is one, Georgia is three, LSU is four right now. Yo, that's pretty cool. Our last regular season loss was at Clemson in 2017. Yeah, Syracuse plays Clemson tough, man. I remember that game too. I remember that I think Kelly Bryant was the quarterback at the time. And I think he had got like a concussion or something like that. And Clemson just pretty much, Clemson took control about that game, man, and really did their thing, yo. Alabama, LSU, then Georgia. I hate LSU, but I have them over. Oh, let's see. Hold on, lost it. But I have them over Georgia because they really lost so much. LSU is scary good. They can actually score now. Yeah, LSU is, man. A lot, man. Jambalaya Joe, man. He's like I say, he's climbing up draft boards now, man. He's making himself a real draftable player in the NFL, man. And those receivers, man, those receivers are big time, yo. Those receivers are really, really. Justin Jefferson, like low key, reminds me. Justin Jefferson low key reminds me of like a Juju Smith Schuster type of receiver, man. That like when I watch him play, that's who he kind of reminds me of, yo. So I think like in the right circumstance, he could have a future in the NFL too, yo. What's up, Tika IJ? I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I apologize. Appreciate you tuning into the live feed. LSU is going 11-1 this year. I don't see them beating Bama this year, but it'll be a close game for sure. Yeah, man. Obviously a bet, and if you got a bet right now, you would pick Alabama over LSU right now. But LSU does have a real shot, man. Florida is tough. Auburn is tough, and A&M is tough. But LSU got all three of those teams in Death Valley, man. So the next biggest road game for LSU is Alabama, man. So LSU, I want to see both teams going into that game undefeated, yo. That would be absolutely something great to see, yo. The LSU never gets their best in-state players. That's tough. Well, we get most of them. It's just now lately we've been getting the best late, like the last few years. The problem is that is always one or two in the top five to top 10 that does go to Alabama. Like last year, LSU got almost pretty much all of the top players in the state. LSU got Derek Stingley Jr. LSU was able to flip John Emery Jr. from Georgia back to LSU. LSU got Terrion Price Davis. LSU got Cordell Thomas, yo. LSU got a lot of the top players in the state of Louisiana, yo. Devontae Lee, Trey Palmer. The problem is LSU got to start getting them all, you know. Or if they don't get them all, at least don't lose them to Bama somehow, some way, yo. As they lost Ishmael Schultz to the Bama this year. But LSU starting to do better in that area, keeping some of the players in the state. What's up, Sports Live in the ATL? Appreciate you tuning in to the live feed. We gonna win Sunday. Go Falcons. I mean, the Eagles should win. Like, I will say this. I'm a little more concerned about that game since Atlanta lost to Minnesota the way they did. So I know they're a little more focused and they're a little more hungrier. And I know they really want to beat the Eagles, man. The Eagles have really had the Falcons number the last few times they played. I know they're gonna be fired up. It's Sunday night football. It's prime time. The whole world is watching. It's their home opener. Atlanta gonna be fired up, but I think the key to this game is the Eagles need to line up behind this really good offensive line with these really good young running backs and run the football right down the Atlanta Falcons' throat, man, and beat that clock and take the crowd out of the game. The Eagles gonna have a lot of fans down there in Atlanta too, yo. But if the Eagles come out and get play physical smash mouth football, line up and run the ball right down Atlanta's throat, they're undersized but quick but undersized defense. The Eagles you would think gonna win this game, man. I'm a little concerned defensively. The Eagles always have problems with Julio Jones, but who doesn't? You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking forward to that matchup Sunday for sure, though. As LSU gets 7 to 9 of the top 10 players in Louisiana every year. I'm honestly not surprised if LSU beats, man. Yeah, LSU been getting the top players the last couple of years, man. I think the last of the top that got away was like Landon Collins, Dylan Moses a few years ago. But since then, like the top guys have stayed home and have went to Alabama. Lord, Alabama to LSU. Terrence Marshall was like I think the number one Louisiana player a couple of years ago. And like last year, Derek Stingley Jr. LSU got a lot of the top players, man. That's something that's changing and why I think LSU definitely has a shot, against Bama this year, yo. Kyler Murray showed me he got what it takes to be a great QB in this league. Never gave up and made a new fire in Larry. How he has pump up after them catches. Yeah, man. Shout out Kyler Murray did his thing in that fourth quarter and then in overtime, man. But yeah, when they let him throw the football instead of trying to get cute offensively, he could run an offense, man. He has a really good arm. He's very athletic, obviously, and he has some confidence. It's just that cornerback should have caught that interception on that side, man. What was Matthew Stafford thinking on that play, man? He got away with the most horrendous throw probably in NFL history, yo. If that cornerback just catches this ball, and I couldn't really see too much in front of him if he had a real shot at a pick six, or he could have just caught the ball and stepped out of bounds, and Arizona was in field goal range, man. I wish he would have caught that interception and gave Arizona a chance to kick it at the end and get the W. We looked pathetic, yes, but don't think the Falcons can't beat your Eagles. Dugas just saying. Nah, I know they can. Like the Falcons definitely could beat the Eagles, yo. They had us beat in the playoffs 2 years ago, and they had us beat last year. The Eagles had to come up with goal line stands at the end, and that was in Philly. And this game is gonna be in Atlanta. Atlanta can win this game, man. I just believe the Eagles gonna win. I just believe the Eagles are more physical, and I believe the Eagles are a little more talented. But if the Eagles got to throw a lot, Vic Beasley and those guys are fast, getting around the edge. Deion Jones is a playmaking linebacker. And offensively, man, that trio of receivers, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, those guys are dangerous. So I got respect for Atlanta, yo. I don't think this is an easy game for the Eagles to win at all. If the Eagles lose, it wouldn't really surprise me, but I do think the Eagles win because I think the Eagles will line up and run the football like right down Atlanta's throat, yo. But it's gonna definitely be a very good. I know you're gonna enjoy your time out there. Oh yeah, go Braves! Yes, go Braves! Chop on. Our magic number is down to 10 games, man, to win the NL East. And so crazy, we only 3 games behind the Dodgers for home field throughout the NL. Something that we never thought was possible like a couple of months ago, man. Braves are really doing their thing right now, yo. Chop on, yo. Think about it, Mr. Dugas. Doesn't this year remind you of the 2011 season? It absolutely does, yo. Geno Smith threw for 400 yards versus that elite 2011 defense, and LSU ended up having the number 2 overall defense that year. Sam Ellinger threw for 400 yards versus LSU, but LSU has a talented defense this year. And we have talent on the offensive side of the ball. LSU will have a great year. I agree with you. That's some great points you bring up about that Geno Smith, Sam Ellinger throwing for all those yards on our defense. A couple of other things of note, yo. We played. I know it is not like it's just crazy how funny it is. That in 2011 was the last time we played Northwestern State in Death Valley too. We played Northwestern State in Death Valley this year. Um, we beat that year was the last time that the national championship game was in New Orleans. The national championship game is in New Orleans this year. That's the last time we beat Alabama, and we played Alabama in Tuscaloosa. We play Alabama in Tuscaloosa this year, yo. It's a lot of things that's very comparable to 2011 for this football team. You're absolutely right, and LSU is in for a really special year, yo. How you feel about where teams are ranked in the top 25 after 2 weeks? Um, the only issue I have is I think Notre Dame is a little high, but really besides that, I think everybody pretty much where they need to be. I was kind of I ain't gonna lie, I was a little surprised to see LSU jump Ohio State and Oklahoma, yo. But rightfully so. LSU deserves to be ranked ahead of them, but I just didn't think that the voters would have put them ahead of them. The fact that Ohio State blew out a decent Cincinnati team, shut out a decent Cincinnati team, and Georgia handled it. Well, Georgia got off to a slow start against Murray State. Not Georgia. Oklahoma, I'm saying Georgia, not Oklahoma, I'm meaning to say, didn't really play nobody is what I'm saying in Houston and was it South Dakota or somebody they played. So cool to see LSU jump both of them and be at number 4. Glad to see Michigan take a little bit of a tumble with the almost losing the Army. Army should have won that game. Army blew that game, yo. But yeah, I don't really have a problem with the top 25 this week. I agree, gotta go. We will see, yo. Appreciate you tuning in again, Sports Live in the ATL. We will talk, man, following this Eagles Falcons game, man. And for everybody, man, Braves fans, or if you like the Falcons or whatever, y'all tune in to Sports Live in the ATL. Y'all go subscribe his channel, man. He got really good content on his channel, yo. I still remember the last 2 meetings between the Eagles and Falcons when Atlanta had a chance to win. Yeah, Atlanta both, man. It's funny because it was like deja vu. Both games ended the same way. The playoff game, they had a fourth down that they threw to Julio that they didn't convert and we won. And last year, opening night, they had, well, I don't remember if it was a fourth down or not, but it was the last play of Julio, but he caught it and Darby pushed him out of bounds. So I mean, the Eagles can lose this game, man. They can, and it really wouldn't surprise me. But I just think the Eagles are just too physical. They come out and run the football with behind that really good offensive line. The Eagles should handle business. I'll always consider LSU outside until they beat us. Always take their talent and beat them like a drumstick with it. Not to mention we got their coach now. Ha 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 ha. Nick said he's not our coach anymore. I mean, Nick Saban been gone for what, like 14 years. So you know, it ain't really our coach no more. He been at Bama way longer than he ever been at LSU. So he's Bama coach. Um, and good for Bama, man. I remember when LSU used to destroy Alabama before Nick Saban got there. But good for them, man. I mean, and rightfully so. LSU hasn't won this game in 8 straight times, man. So even as an LSU fan, even though I'm very optimistic and I believe LSU has a chance, I would not put a wager on that. Like, I would not put a wager on it because we got to do it first. Even though I do believe that this year is a great year for LSU to finally get it done, yo. What's up, T? Good. Appreciate you tuning into the live feed. How can Eagles defense get back to being elite? That's a great question, man. Pressure with the front four. Our corners are good. Like our cornerbacks are good, opportunistic type of corners. They're not no shutdown, lockdown corners like like Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Gilmore, Patrick Peterson. We don't have none of those type of corners. We have corners that if the defensive line can get pressure on the quarterback, they could jump routes. So it's all about pressure. The thing is, Jim Schwartz doesn't like to blitz. He likes to stick with a 4-man front and get pressure. The problem with that is that, like the Washington Redskins, they went into a max protection. So it was hard for us to get through their offensive line. Um, and the corners get beat, like especially Douglas. Even though shout out to him, man, he transformed his body. You know, he's a little quicker now, but you know he's just not a very fast corner. You know, he's more of a get your hands on the receiver and knock you off of your route type of corner, and a ball hawking type of corner where if you throw the ball around him, he will pick it off. But for the Eagles to get back to being elite, the Eagles gonna have to get a consistent 4-man rush on a quarterback. If the Eagles can rush quarterback all day, get pressure all day, kind of like they did, you know, for examples like they did against the like the Steelers, like with that the 2016 season when they beat them 34-3. The Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship game. It's about getting consistent pressure on the quarterback, yo. If the Eagles could do that, then the Eagles could get back to being an elite defense. I sometimes feel like claiming that Natty they won with saving because we basically take everything away from them. Nah, I mean that's our championship, man. LSU is doing fine without saving, and we replaced the talent that didn't go to LSU with better recruits. For example, we missed out on Landon Collins, but who did we get to replace him? Jamal Adams, number 6 pick in the NFL draft. That is absolutely right. Like, that is absolutely right. Yo, like, LSU is not really hurting in recruits, man. I know it's a lot of attention because when Alabama gets a Louisiana recruit, it's like, oh my goodness, you know. But you know, just like what Dylan Moses, you know, Dylan Moses went to Alabama, but LSU already had Devin White. You know what I'm saying? LSU missed out on, well, he's not a Louisiana native, but his dad is. Missed out on Patrick Surtain, but get Derek Stingley Jr. You know, so yeah, LSU isn't hurting in recruits, man. It's just LSU has to be more physical on the offensive and defensive line to take care of business against Alabama, yo. What's up, DH Eagle 0671? Appreciate you tuning into the live. Been a subscriber. Our defense got to tighten up. Not a Jim Swartz fan. I'm not a. I was actually cool when we first hired him when with Dougie P back in the day. But the more and more I see Jim Swartz, the less of a fan I become. So appreciate you being a subscriber, by the way, also, yo. Um, you know, it's just he doesn't believe in blitzing, man. Part of it I understand because we don't have great cover corners, but then at the same time, man, you can't expect a 4-man rush to consistently get pressure on a quarterback all day long unless that's just an offensive line like the Houston Texans. Because teams are gonna max protect. Teams are gonna slide the line over to Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and those guys. And you know, when the quarterback on the throw, any secondary could get picked apart, especially ours, yo. So yeah, we do need to tighten up, man. It's a tough matchup going up against those at Matt Ryan and those Atlanta receivers in that dome, man. That's a very, very tough matchup for our defense, yo. Um, we got to get pressure, man. And then now Malik Jackson is out for the season. That's just very, very, very extremely unfortunate. But Timmy Jernigan got to step up. He was a starting D tackle, you know, a couple of years when we won the Super Bowl. So it got to tighten up, man. I do wish Swartz would, you know, would blitz a little more, especially with like Avonte Maddox in the slot. Because Avonte Maddox is a very good. When I seen him blitz before, and when he was playing at Pitt, Avonte Maddox is a very, very good slot blitzing corner. You know, but you know he doesn't like to blitz, man. So the best thing we could hope for is that Fletcher Cox and those guys have a dominant performance up front. One of the best safeties in the league now. Yeah, Jamal Adams is, yo. He better than Landon Collins right now in the NFL, if you ask me. LSU fans on TJ LSU Dash stream got mad when I said that they were all telling him to get rid of me. I mean, you know, I don't like Bama. I can't stand Bama, but you know, I don't take things. I mean, we gotta beat them. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we have to beat Alabama, man. We can't sit there and throw a pity party when they want to make fun of us or They want to say things. I'm not like that. Like I'll roll my eyes and be like, whatever. But but at the end of the day, I know to cut the noise down, to for people to feel better and all that other stuff. We have to beat Alabama, yo. And it's not that LSU don't have. We just gotta put it together. Easy, Brian Dennis Stadium. Do get me put you in timeout. Nah, he good, man. Brian Dennis Stadium, we good, man. He good, yo. Especially with them Braves, man. Chop on, man. I love it, man. I love a good rivalry, man. I love good trash talk, man. I'm all for it, yo. Just LSU gotta beat them. Now the thing is, when they line up and play November night, the last 8 meetings don't matter. It's all about what's going to happen in this game right now in this situation, yo. So that's just what we got to look forward to, yo. My mother is a Falcons fan. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Tell her we looking. It's gonna be a good one, man. Tell her it's gonna be a good one, man. Looking forward to again Sunday night football prime time. Yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup, yo. We played Arky, Florida, and Auburn at home that year too. Yeah, 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 we did, yo. We absolutely did, and we blew out all three of them that year too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it does have a 2011 type of feel to this season though, man. I That's something I've been feeling also, yo. Real talk, anybody saying getting rid of Les Miles was a horrible move is ignorant. That guy had to go. Coach O is doing pretty good. I was never a big Les Miles fan, man. I was one of the people who wanted him to go. Now, granted, I respect what he did. I absolutely respect what he did. I think that he should go into the LSU Hall of Fame, but he was too stubborn, man. He couldn't adapt. Coach O is doing a great job for the main simple reason that he's adapting. He brought in a guy to run a modern, type of offense. And look how good LSU looks. Look how much exciting LSU looks and how opportunistic our fan base is right now with this offense. So I love the job that Coach O doing. Sometimes being a great coach means letting people do what they do best. Is getting out of the way. You don't have to have your hands on every single thing for it to be a great coach or a great leader. Sometimes being a great leader is knowing that, okay, I'm not that good in this area, but I know this person is very good in that area. So I'm gonna let that person run that area while I focus on the areas I'm great at. Sometimes that's something that Les Miles refused to do. Les Miles would hire his buddies and his friends, to run the offense. Oh, it's gonna change, but yet it will be the same 3 yards in a cloud of dust offense, yo. Let's beat people 14-10. Like, nah, man. So Coach O is doing a spectacular job, we played in Texas that year as well and played in OOC game that year too. We played in we played Oregon and in Arlington that year, yo. Yeah, it has that feel, yo. Glad you going live now. Our defense gotta. Yeah, man. This is something I'm gonna do every Tuesday, yo. Select games, man. It depends on what I got going on while I'm watching the game. Sometimes, I have it's a lot of people over and this and that, and the kids running around. Some games, if it's really going down to the wire, I'll try to go live at the end of those games too. But for the most part, I'm gonna try to do this every Tuesday though. Let's see. Thank you at Brian Dennis Stadium. Someone understands they were dissing LSU about firing him. Yet look at what he's doing at Kansas. Kansas lost to Coastal Carolina of all teams. Yeah, I mean, I do wish Les Miles luck. I do wish Les Miles luck over there in Kansas. And let him get his own recruits over there. Like maybe next year after, I could kind of be a little more harsh on him than now. But yeah, people were very critical of LSU for letting go. How you let go the all-time winningest coach in LSU history? Like I'm just like people was very critical of Georgia letting go Mark Richt. And even though he hasn't won a championship, Kirby Smart has done a great job of at least putting that team in position to win one better than Mark Richt ever did. The problem with him is he got to learn how to close out big games and stop faking field goals and faking punts. You know, I think LSU and Texas is better than Oklahoma at this point. I mean, we'll see. Oklahoma looks pretty good also, yo. I think LSU is better than Oklahoma right now, but Oklahoma Texas is gonna be very, very interesting. Obviously now with LSU beating Texas, I need Texas to beat Oklahoma in that matchup. LSU is in a much better condition under Ed Orgeron. Ed wants to win and compete for national championships, not settle for 7 and 9 wins a year and a meh bowl game. Sorry about that. I forgot to be silent. Yeah, I agree, man. Coach O is really going at it, and he understands the fan base. He knows everything that we need to get done to be the team that we need to be. You feel me? Let's see. Wait, where are they? Yeah, I agree. Do we need Jay Mills back? That's a great question. Man, I'm not a fan of Jalen Fields, man. Even though he's an LSU guy, I really don't think we do, man. I don't think we do. I know he's a really good tackler, and I know he's very knowledgeable in this scheme. But I think we good, man. With Ronald Darby, Sidney Jones, Rasul Douglas, Avante Maddox, and a player we do need back though. We need Cravon LeBlanc back. We need Cravon LeBlanc back so he could get back in that slot, so we could move Avante Maddox back to the outside, and then probably Ronald Darby or Jones or Douglas. They gonna probably battle out for the other corner. But I think we need Cravon LeBlanc back way more than we need Jalen Mills back. They wanted Les Miles to get in offense. He didn't make changes, so it cost him his job. Yeah, it did, man. He didn't make his changes. He was supposed to, but he really didn't, yo. Now that he's gone, look at how LSU looks compared to Les was the head coach. LSU is now a top 5 team and compete with anyone in the country. I'm proud that I can finally say that. I'm proud also, yo. I'm really proud also, man. This team is really looking good, man. I love this offense. The defense under Dave Aranda is, they're gonna, even though I don't think the defense is as stout as it was in the past, the defense is still gonna at least, make plays here and there. What's up, Shylin? Fantastic. Appreciate you tuning into the live. Honestly, I was unsure as can be about Orgeron. I think almost all of us was, to be honest with you, yo. Everyone, like, I was a little unsure also, yo, at first. But he's from Louisiana, played for LSU for a while. He's just like us Louisianians. He knows what he wants. He knows what we want, and that's to win natties. That is a great point, man. I do love the fact that he is a Louisiana native and loves LSU, and he knows what it's about out here, and he knows, like, hey, we gotta improve. When he sees a problem, he goes out of his way to get it fixed. That's what I love the most about what Coach O is doing. I've seen a thing where it say smart people love problems because they know how to solve them. you know. Hope LSU and hope Alabama and LSU both beat Auburn like a drum. Yeah, that's possible. What's up, Louisiana Banks? Appreciate you tuning into the live. TK Techie. Funny thing is that they fake fired Les Miles when Jimbo threw 2 middle fingers at y'all, then brought him back just to fire him in the middle of the season. Now look what Coach O is doing. Yeah, that was all. What's his name, man? What's our old? I don't remember the dude name no more, man. Our old athletic director, man. What the guy name was, man? Joe Oliva. Yeah, that was Joe Oliva that completely botched that whole situation, man. They should have let Les Miles go when they said they was gonna let him go, yo. Got any upsets this Saturday? Most conference play starts. Um, uh, Not really. like, not really. I think Syracuse is gonna give Clemson a very, very good game, a run for their money. But I think most of the favorites pretty much hang on this week, yo. At Brian, imagine what LSU would look like after 6 or so years under Edgeron. It wouldn't surprise me if LSU has multiple playoff appearances. Facts, both schedules look identically the same. Yeah, they do, yo. They absolutely do, man. I love the fact that, you know, that he fixed problems, man. And I think LSU definitely does have a chance to really complete. And he's recruiting, man. As long as Urban Meyer don't take the USC job, which hey, USC is off to a good start. You know, USC is starting off good. Maybe hopefully Clay Helton keep that job. So sorry about that. Hopefully Clay Helton keep that job. So we could keep like our y'all little California connection we got going on right now, like with players like Elias Ricks, who's committed to LSU right now, yo. Hopefully we could keep that going, yo. Let's see. Nick Saban teaches corners to bump and run against receivers. Yeah, he does, man. He always been a great defensive back coach, man. I never forget. I think it was the 2003 season, the year we won the first the championship with Saban, and we was playing Georgia in like a big game that afternoon. And I think our corners that year was Corey Webster and Travis Daniels, who both end up playing in the NFL. And it was a play where Travis Daniels was like kind of off a receiver and let him catch. And like Saban ran up to him and was telling him like how to get physical with him. And like 2 or 3 plays later, they showed Daniels getting physical with him and the pass was incomplete. And Saban was really fired up about that. Les Miles was very overrated. We didn't win the 2012 BCS National Championship because of him. Yeah, I agree, man. It's funny that year I was starting to come around to him a little bit because of how well we was playing. But when you really look at that team was just dominant, man. Like with the exception of Alabama, LSU was just head over heels better than everybody. And then when we get a chance to play Bama again, I mean, it was just an absolutely putrid performance, man. Like after that, I never really wanted him to be the coach again. After that, to be honest with you, yo. Have to say I love rivalry, smack talking. What makes it more fun leading up to the game. My wife a Michigan fan. I'm a Michigan State fan. So it's all good at the end of the day. I bet that gets pretty competitive in that house, man. That's what's up, yo. That's really what's up there, man. That rivalry is all fun, man. We laugh, we joke and clown, man. But I can't stand them, But I got a lot of respect for Bama and their fans, man. I just can't stand their football team. That win against the Dodgers was amazing, except for Friday night. That was a shame. Soroka was pitching great, then the bullpen blew it. Yeah, that was bad, man. And you know what's funny? Ever since that game, the bullpen, that's when they started pitching really, really, really well. Ever since that game. Les Miles hired Cam Cameron. Man, our offense was so trash. Imagine if Leonard Fournette, OBJ, Juice, Geis, etc. was the offense we have now. Joey Levi, I hate him. Yeah, I completely agree, man. And I remember when Cam Cameron first came the first year when with Mettenberger, Beckham, Landry, and Jeremy Hill, and they was trying to say, oh, look, Cam Cameron is doing such a great job with this offense. Little did he know, man, we had two all pro wide receivers and a first, second round running back. So it made him look great, yo. When the Eagles offense is clipping, do you believe we're unstoppable? Yes. When the Eagles offense is clicking, when we not having penalties and we getting the offensive line is blocking. This offense is unstoppable, man. We could run the ball at anybody and we could throw the ball. We got like this. I just love this team, man, especially this offense. Look how we played ever since, like after getting down after the second half started. Like we went up and down the field, and Carson Wentz is just unbelievable, man. Moving the ball, he's spreading the ball around more, and he's not looking to run when he escapes the pocket. He's keeping his eyes downfield, yo. Isn't USC Urban Meyer's alma mater? That's a great question. I'm not. To be honest, I'm not even sure. I'm gonna have to go back and look that up. If so, he might take that AD job at USC. That's fair. I see somebody joking earlier say that who was it, man? I think it was Paul Feinbaum, matter of fact, earlier said that maybe OJ Simpson will go take the USC AD job, man. I thought that was pretty funny. What's up, G8 City Blue Devil? Appreciate you tuning into the live. Congrats on beating Texas, and gotta say Texas a bunch of bad hoes. Yeah, they were I must say this, man. It was a great game, a great atmosphere, but Texas was absolutely some horrible hoes, man. I mean, putting our band way at the top of the stadium, giving us a locker room with no air conditioning. I mean, that was just bad. They just went out their way to try to win this game, and they still lost, yo. Glad we beat them, yo. We beat eight top 25 teams that year. Three of them won major BCS bowls. Two of them won their conference, and we averaged 35 points per game in 2011. Yeah, that was a great year, man. I remember beating Oregon, beating West. Who else? Well, obviously Alabama. That was a great year, man, and this does feel a lot like it, yo. Akeem Spence just got signed to the Eagles from Miami. That's his name, man. I couldn't think of his name, man. Thank you for giving me his name. I was thinking about him earlier, but I couldn't remember his name, yo. This is where not keeping Trevon Hester to the 53 man roster hurts, yo. Trevon Hester would have been a real help right now with this defensive line rotation with Malik Jackson being injured. But I mean, he brings solid depth. I don't really expect him to come in and do much. Obviously, we still got Fletcher Cox, we still got Timmy Jernigan, we still got Hassan Ridgeway, who actually played pretty decent on Sunday when he got in there. But he gives us good depth. I just was thinking, I'm like, man, I was thinking maybe we should have, kept Trevon Hester and not keep, all six of the defensive ends that was in position to make it to the team. But he'll give us some good depth. But as long as Cox, Jernigan, and Ridgeway are healthy, we should be solid. But that Malik Jackson loss is a really big, really big frustrating loss though. Three of the top. Hold on. Three of the eight top 25 teams that we beat that year was also ranked in the top five. Yeah, Texas did is wrong. How do you feel about the Saints? The Saints, that was a nice win for the Saints last night, man. Drew Brees is obviously a first ballot Hall of Famer. The way he masterfully orchestrated that last drive to put the Saints in field goal position to win that game. I'm a little concerned about the Saints cornerbacks that's not named Marshawn Lattimore. And especially going forward because have a pass rush like that again, 6 sacks like that again, because the Houston Texans deep offensive line is just really that putrid, yo. But I do think they miss Mark Ingram. But Alvin Kamara is amazing. He reminds me a lot of LaDainian Tomlinson. Drew Brees is amazing. They're amazing at home. So, they still one of the few teams that have a real shot to win this thing. I bet they really did, yo. I kind of consider LSU lucky that Orgeron was great because that did show LSU has no plan, fire a coach, and don't know what you're hiring. That easily could have turned into Tennessee. That was Joy Lever. That was all Joy Lever, but I'm glad that it worked out for us, yo. I'm ready for good SEC matchups also, yeah. But yeah, I'm about to go. I'm about to run. I know the Braves and Phillies just started. I'm gonna go check the Braves game out. Appreciate everybody tuning into the live again today, man. As always, it was fun. I have a blast. I love talking sports with every one of you. If you're a subscriber, appreciate you being a loyal subscriber to the channel. I appreciate it like always. If you haven't subscribed and you tune into the live, give me a subscribe, man. I'm gonna do this every Tuesday and try to put videos out for everybody throughout the week. I'm gonna try to do it same time next week, but if anything change throughout my videos during the week, I'll update everyone on what time the live will be. But as of now, it'll be same time next week. Appreciate everybody tuning into the videos throughout the week, man. And y'all have a blessed one. Check y'all next Tuesday.